Hey everybody, this is Jordan with Has Collar Trading. Trying to help you navigate this whole Amazon 20 to 1 split and till $10 billion buyback. That is my son in the background you might be hearing. Apologies. Anyway, so you may be wondering how to maximize this or how to play it. Basically, what you'll see is this 20 to 1 split will be very similar to how Google reacted to the 21 split, right? So there's going to be a lot of short-term run-up that will be then overcompensated on the downside as people that have been in it are taking their money and waiting for it to get a little closer to that split date to then get back in and get in on that split. So basically what I recommend doing is, for right now, you could either get calls, or maybe even if you wait for that high point, get some puts for about where it was before the announcement, and it may probably head back there by the time the split actually happens. It'll probably bounce there and then back up by that time. And I'm using Google as a reference point here, because that's basically what Google did. When Google announced their split, they went up $300-400. Basically went to $3,000 a share, and within 2 weeks they dropped down to $2,500 a share. And before that they were sitting at like $2,700 a share or $2,600 a share, something like that. So they went up and then they dropped a little bit even more down. Now, the real money in this, the real thing to be looking at with the Amazon announcement is actually the $10 billion buyback, which is supposed to happen after the split. So this is where it changes the game a little bit. You will see a lot of people either buy back in like right before the split, or right after, so that they can maximize getting that $10 billion buyback. Because consider, let's say they do the buyback right after, and the stock price of the share is like $160. Well, once they do the buyback, let's say it jumps up $10 or $15 just from the buyback alone, and then people also, hype it up a little bit more. It goes up to maybe 180, 185, and then people start taking their profits. It goes back down to where it was, 160, 150, something like that, maybe 165. And from there, it then starts to climb on a regular basis over a 10-year period and gets back to where it needs to be. Now, I am going to probably play short-term calls. I'm going to ignore all of the puts part aspect of it myself, just because I don't really care to play all of it, the whole trend up and down. But you could easily do that. And I just plan on building a short-term cash flow area to where I can then funnel that into shares, and I'm just going to be buying up as many shares as I can after the split, especially after the split, before they actually do the buyback. I'll be buying up shares after shares after shares, because once that buyback happens, it'll rocket. And then what you do to compensate on the short-term loss that you have after that, when people take their money, is you play puts. So that's how I'm going to maximize the movement. Do whatever you need to do. I also wanted to point out that you could have caught this huge run-up with one of the last videos I posted about the 3 simple strategies. I talked about options flow alerts and trading ticks alerts in particular with Discord. And not even 3 days later, on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Central, alerts came out for $2,900 buy blocks for Amazon, and then after hours, guess where it went? Went well over 2,900, and it's still going. So I definitely recommend using that tip. I definitely recommend using the shorting after something short squeezes. Go ahead and short it after for about 30 to 50%. Those work, but those are a whole nother video that I have already done on. So I just really wanted to talk about, you know, what this whole Amazon thing is, what it really means, and how you can kind of maximize it and use it to your fullest advantage as a trader. You know, this is a great opportunity for someone who doesn't have the money to spend $3,000 on a share to then wait and then start buying a high value company at a price that they can afford. And that's the point of all of this, because then it raises the value of the company as more people start buying in, right? So once that split happens, I highly recommend, even if you don't play any of the stuff short term or up until there, at least take the time. I would even funnel 25% of my portfolio into Amazon shares and let them sit. Stop. Don't worry about it. Whatever they do in the short term, screw it. Let them sit for 10 years and pay you later. Overall, Amazon's not going anywhere. It never will. I don't think so. Not in unless the world ends, right? Unless this war ends up being World War III. I don't think Amazon's going anywhere. So, hey, use this to your fullest advantage. Love you guys. See y'all later.